We have to take the 10th Anuvaka. We are coming pretty close to the completion of Chamaka Prashna also. So let's take the 10th Anuvaka, Garbhashtame. Outset, when you look at this Anuvaka, it seems to refer all to the cows, the the calf in the womb of the cow, the calf which has come out of the cow and still drinking the milk, and the calf which has come out of the cow but not drinking the milk. And then you also see the representation of the bull. So it suggests that the whole of the Anuvaka is talking about the livestock, the cattle. That was a very integral part of the wealth of the Vedic sages. But just for that, they would not actually create a Veda mantra of the caliber of Chamaka Prashna, and then which is because the clue given is Yajno Yajnena Kalpantam. So when he mentions let Yajna itself be created for Yajna, so it is more deeper than the meaning of just, give me this cow, give me 1.5 cow, give me 1.25 cow. So I think that is very, very superficial interpretation. So there are 31 aspects that are talked about in this Anuvaka. So if you study the previous Anuvaka, the 9th Anuvaka, a little carefully, what this 9th Anuvaka is doing is the combination of 9th and 10th Anuvaka, how to discover the Atman, which is hidden in the opaque body at the microcosmic level, and in the Sthula Prapancha or the gross Prapancha, right, which hides Brahman. Brahman and Atman are actually synonymous. There is only one reality. That one reality, when applied to the universe, it is called as Brahman. When applied to the individual, it is called as Atman. But this reality is obscured for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that we are so much interested in our body-mind complex that we do not turn our attention to what is beyond. So first of all, we are not interested in that discovery. And the second of all is all our senses being outward bound, and the concept of the Atman Brahman is inhering or inward bound, and we are only used and we are very familiar with using our sense organs. We do not know how to use something extrasensory. So these two Anuvakas are actually teaching us by saying, when you do Dravyatyaga, Yajna, what is the meaning? What is the understanding of Yajna? Devatodesha Purvaka Dravyatyagaha Yagaha is the definition of Yajna. I might have mentioned this in earlier classes also. That means for the sake of worship of God, whatever you give away is called Yaga or Yajna. So when you put something as an offering into Agni, what happens? What is the physical process? Agni and the ingredient which you have poured into the Agni become one. When they become one, what is the residue? Kimatra parishishyate, as we have seen in the Kathopanishad. Kimatra paritishyate. What is remaining? What is remaining is only the effulgence or the brilliance of the Agni. The flame representing the Atman, the physical form for meditation. So the dravya or the various ingredients you put in the Agni disappears and becomes one. So what is the philosophical meditation that one should do when you are doing a yajna? When you are doing a yajna, every time you offer something into the sacred fire, you should think that the individuality technically called as Vyashti. Vyashti means it is that the microcosm. The Sanskrit term for microcosm is Vyashti. So when this Vyashti microcosm merges with Samashti, the macrocosm, what remains? The Samashti only remains. But are you not there? The person who is doing the yajna is still there. He is sitting right in front of the Agni. So that is a metaphor to say that this Atman is the one that is the residue. Etadvai tat. This is that. You follow the logic? You can reverse this process also. So how do we reverse this process? You take the entire external world and then offer it as a yajna into your own Atmagni. So how do we do this? Suryo me chakshushi shritaha. When you say Suryo me chakshushi shritaha, you are saying, let Surya. Where is Surya? Surya is in the cosmos. The sun is in the Samashti. Now when you are saying the mantra, this sun who is in the cosmos, the Samashti, come into my eyes means what? You are actually offering the yajna of the cosmos into the microcosm. So when you actually offer the entire macrocosm into microcosm, what is left? Kimatra parishishyate. Brahman is left. How do we know Brahman is left? The cosmos is still there. The physical world is still there. So these two Anavakas, brilliant Anavakas, 9th and 10th Anavakas, give us a methodology by saying, I will actually offer all the egoistic, the Ahankara. Ahankara is what determines the personality. The entire Ahankara into the cosmos. And there is a cosmic Mahat Ahankara is there. That Ahankara, I will take it and merge it into myself. And this process is called Pravilayam. It is not there in this mantra, but the technical term for that is called Pravilayam. Laya means what? Laya means absorption. Vilaya means what? Absorption without return. Pravilaya means what? Prakarshena vilayam. It is so wonderfully merged that there is no possibility of return. Subtext. Even after the entire pralaya is over, our karmas will be a residue in the form of seed. Isn't it? That then vilaya. In laya, it is a temporary, what is known as the naimittika pralaya, nitya pralaya. Then in vilaya, what happens at the end of the kalpa? There is the end of everything, but end of the whole creation, and our karmas are in seed form. Pravilaya means even those seeds are also burnt away. That's where this Anavaka is taking us. Prakarsha Vilaya. So, how do they dramatize this in Purana? Look at the Matsyavatara. In Matsyavatara, the Lord takes the form of the fish, and after taking the form of the fish, the king at that time was called Satyavrata. To this Satyavrata, the fish manifests itself, and then when he was doing the Arghya Pradhana in Sandhyavandana, in his hand that fish falls, and then it grows into huge. He transfers it into a small bowl, it outgrows that, he transfers it into a big tank, it outgrows that, transfers it into a river, outgrows it, puts it into the ocean, almost outgrows that. And then he says the end of this particular eon is coming up, and therefore you build a ship, and in that ship bring all the living beings into it, including the charachara vastu. So how do you understand that? All that he collected, it is not that he assembled the physical bodies of all these people and then herded them into this ship. The karma bija of every one of these was deposited into that ship. And then it will be actually roaming about in the cosmic ocean during the duration of Brahma's sleep. In other words, Whenever there is a reabsorption of the universe, at that point of time, all our karma seeds will continue to exist. Unless you offer everything as a yajna into the cosmos, still the cosmos will be holding on to the yajna, to the seed. So you take the cosmos and offer it as a yajna into yourself. When this two-way meditation happens, then in that case, the amritattvam or the immortality is experienced. So, what is pravilaya? Pravilaya is offering the space-time bound entities into a space-bound time causality transcending concept of Brahman. In these two. So, the samashti pravilaya, and we already saw suryome chakshush stitaha, vyashti pravilaya also, we do this in two places. One is when a person takes sannyasa, and another is when a person is being cremated. So we use these two mantras. So when a person takes what is known as the vidvat sannyasa, sannyasa there are two kinds, vidvat sannyasa and vividisha sannyasa. That means sannyasa intellectually. You will be doing everything that you do. You are a grahastha, you go to work, you earn money, you take care of everything. Then that is called vidvat sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa means where you actually take the akar ropes and go away. At that point of time we say, hey, all my anger, etc., all of them, samudram gaccha, antariksham gaccha, divam gaccha. So you tell yourself saying all these things, let corresponding elements, let it go. For example, anger, corresponding element is Agni. So send your anger to Agni. Like that you actually deposit everything into the samashti. So this vyashti pravilaya into samashti was the theme of the 9th Anuvaka. In the 10th Anuvaka, it is looking at our own body and then analyzing this body, and then you discover that we have both the Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat, as Krishna says in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Then we identify this Daivi Sampat, Asuri Sampat, and that constant battle between the two will be going on. And then what we do is we resolve it. We resolve it by neutralizing. We empower the Daivi Sampat, the godly qualities. We make it stronger and stronger so that they overpower the Asuri Sampat. So that process will follow from Garbhashtami onwards. Just to give you a clue, Garbhashtami means all the Roga Devatas in our body will be hiding and waiting to manifest at the appropriate time. So we may say that I am in perfect health today, but then when the according to Shadvikara, when the decline has to happen, all these Roga Devatas who are in the Garbha will start coming up. So what should we do? This Roga Devatas must be defeated by encouraging the Arogya Devatas. So that we will see in our next class.